And then, if Westerns weren't in outer space, which was bad enough, where else were they in the movies? They were in big cities, because what was Clint Eastwood's own Dirty Harry but an urban Western? And you know, Gene, one of the things that you can think about when you look at Star Wars and Dirty Harry and you recognize those same characters, the same confrontations is, in a way, even though Westerns weren't on the screen and characters were not riding around on horses, there was a hunger for that same kind of dichotomy between good and evil and riding into town and setting everything straight. There was a hunger for the story form, even if it didn't have all of the right costumes and locations.
Well, maybe that's a provocative issue. I remember talking to Pauline Kael back around that time in the early 70s, our great film critic, and she said, when I said, you know, there hasn't been a Western, I wonder if it's going to be revived, she says she did hope that it wouldn't be revived. She didn't think that there were that many great Westerns made, actually. And someone could say, you know, all right, so it changes costume. What's the big deal? How do you answer that one?
I think, how would I answer that? That's a very, I would say if you can make a good movie, no matter what it is, then it's worth making. And if you make a bad movie, then in that case it's not worth making. But for a whole genre to go by the boards, and the Western, it seemed to me, at least up until about 10 years ago, was such an important part of all of our imaginations and all of our myth of what America was, that for that to be lost would at least tell us that we had lost an important part of ourselves.
Then he came back to Hollywood and appeared in some big Hollywood films where he was appalled by the waste, so he directed 16 of his own movies. He could grind out action pictures for the rest of his life, but Clint Eastwood has something else to prove.
This is the Clint Eastwood everyone knows. Dirty Harry, who works the mean streets of urban America.
By comparison, Clint Eastwood, another great stone face, is positively manic by comparison in his popular Dirty Harry films. And one more thing, Eastwood's character in the Dirty Harry pictures and others also faced stress challenges and learned a few things during the course of the film. Not so with Bronson. Lately, he's been playing sort of a sad sack and a know-it-all, and the result is a string of unsuccessful motion pictures for almost a decade now. So I guess what I have to say to Charles Bronson is, lighten up and start showing us that you enjoy making movies like you once did.